Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to City Skylines Mass Transit. I certainly hope you're having a wonderful day, because I'm certainly excited to be back here in the wonderful city of Nerdshire, where things are going pretty well. Almost $2 million, almost 32,000 citizens, and the occasional burnt-out building. We'll not worry too much about that. No reason to. It's not a big deal. You might notice the music's changed. That's simply because I've changed the channel. We're not listening to the classics anymore. We are now listening to Relaxation Station, which, it's kind of chill. It's a little more laid back than the classics, and I like it. Now, you might notice I've gone ahead and changed... What is this music, man? I might go back to the classics. I've changed up this railway line here, this train line, because it wasn't very good last time. So we've gone for something much more simple over here, and it runs across like so. It goes into a bridge, goes underground, so it doesn't cross this anymore, and it just runs along really, really nice. I'm gonna go back to the classics. Nah, we'll stick with it. We'll stick with it and see what happens with Relaxation Station. I'm gonna give it a chance at least. But yeah, the train track is just a little bit better than it was, and that's a good thing. I'm also wanting to get another entrance to this industrial zone. This is one over here. This is technically one, but we keep running into the issue where the power plants don't have enough oil, so eventually we don't have enough power to, well, power the city. And that's kind of a problem. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get some, that's not quite right there. I'm gonna get some, what does this go? It goes like that. I'm gonna get some off-ramps here, basically. Some off-ramps, some on-ramps, and we're gonna pretty much do what we've done with the highways everywhere else, in the sense that we are going to have multiple ways on and off. And I am gonna go back to the classics, because that's not as relaxing as I thought it would be. So the classics is gonna be where it's at. So what I want to do here is I want to run that road between those. I don't know if that's quite right, though. Looking at it, that doesn't, maybe it is. I don't know. I'm not really sold on that. It'll do though. It's probably fine. So we'll bring this up like so. We can go ahead and reconnect the highways, just like that. And then can we get this to curve in real nicely, just like that. Like that, just like that, and like that. So that, when we connect it properly, is hopefully going to do some good things for us. Now what we do need to do is flip this around. We need to flip this around, that around, and that as well. And what I want to do is I want to say that this whole thing is... That's going to be 2 lanes. That gets rotated and is now 2 lanes as well. And then we change up these bits for 1 lane and these completely for 1 lane over here. So that should work pretty well. Again, once we actually get it connected up, which it currently isn't. But we'll run this back a little bit as well, so we've got that extra turning lane. Back to about there, I think, should be totally fine. So let's get this connected. Let's get people moving through these areas. So that's gonna go there, and that's gonna go by there. Run it in like that, and run it in like that. And I'm curious to see how that might do. I think it might also be an idea to go for an asymmetrical road just here. Like that, and an asymmetrical road just like that as well. So we'll see how traffic deals with this new option. I'm sincerely hoping that it's going to pull some traffic away from here, because we need to be able to get fuel trucks to the power plants. That's actually really, really important. So we'll see how that goes. We do still have enough power currently, but that might not last forever. And usually it doesn't. In fact, we have run into some issues from time to time with everything just being cut off from the grid, so we don't really want that to happen. We want to make sure this is working the way it's supposed to be working, and it looks like a decent amount of traffic is opting to use this road here, so I'm thinking that I'm thinking we're going to see some changes. I'm thinking we're going to see some good stuff here. I'm definitely hopeful that we're going to see some good stuff here. In terms of zoning, I think I will go ahead and just dump some industrial zoning around this. It is going to increase the amount of traffic just generally using these roads, but that's kind of okay. I think it's going to look pretty good having industrial traffic around these anyway, so... Yeah, it looks like for the most part this is doing some good stuff. It looks like it's pulling a lot of traffic down as well. We have a bit of a forest fire over here, which is not good at all. But it does look like it's pulling some of the traffic down away from this main section here. So that's kind of what I want to see. I kind of want to see traffic being pulled down like that. And it looks like it's filtering through really nicely. Now, these guys don't actually have water. We should probably do something about that, to be honest. So bring it over like that and bring it up like that. There we go. So now that they have water, I want to come back over to the city for a second because I want to get some of this residential demand out of the way. And to do that, I'm going to just fill up those little spaces and those little spaces as well. Just like that. So we'll get some people living in there. In other good news, though, this is empty. So at long last, we can get rid of the garbage dumps there. That's really good news. I'm really happy about that. Because what that means is, number one, I can start working on an industrial zone to go over here. And number two, we can just focus on garbage disposal. That's all we need to worry about, and that's good. I will say, awful lot of traffic going for the going for this guy here. I'm wondering if that one-way road is maybe completely unnecessary at this point. Because what I'm thinking is, if I turn that into an asymmetrical road, you keep 2 lanes going in one direction. And I'm just wondering if that's maybe going to be a good thing. I'm going to find out here. We'll see what happens with this asymmetrical road. I am a little bit nervous about it, to be honest. But we'll see. We'll see how traffic handles the choices that they now have. Anyway, we have over $2 million. I think it's about time that we start spending it in some serious investment for the city. And what I'm thinking is we're gonna finally chuck in some decent fire stations. I mean, we have one, but I'd like another one. I'd like to get a proper fire station somewhere down here, I think. Just to get some proper investment, you know, to get some people that are like, yo, we've got some proper fire stations. It's about time. I also want to get some of these miscellaneous buildings, such as the Intelligence Agency. It is 1,600 per week. But it's a cool building. It's a pretty cool looking building. So I think the Intelligence Agency, it can go up here by the river. So yeah, the Intelligence Agency can go right there. That's a pretty cool looking building. We could also throw in things like the crypto or the cryo preservatory or the medical laboratory. Again, relatively decently sized buildings. This one not so much, but you know, whatever. If we throw that there, that is just a... Yeah, that just sends out hearses to collect bodies. But it stores them. Huh. Okay. I'm curious to see what... No, I don't want that. I don't see the point in storing them. That building's eventually going to fill up, isn't it? That doesn't seem like it would make all that much sense, just, you know, filling up the building. I'm also noticing this area is pretty much full, so let's just expand some more residential into that space. And let's have a look and see what our next objective is going to be. Colossal city, 40,000 people, then 60,000, 75,000. We're getting there. So at Colossal City, we get the nuclear power plant. Okay. I'll keep that in mind. I'm certainly looking forward to it. I'm also thinking that it's probably time to do what I've said that we're going to do and get some keys along this lake and get some industrial along this coastline over, or the banks of the lake just here. But what I want to do is I want to go ahead and I want to level out the land a little bit. And oh, my soil is moving. I didn't know if I had unlimited soil switched on for this series or not, because that is an option in mass transit. That's one of the new not mods, but the kind of modifiers, if you know what I mean, that's in the game, like unlimited money, like all that stuff. All that stuff that I am totally forgetting. But yeah, you can get unlimited soil, which is pretty cool, I'll admit, but I was thinking of having it on for this series. I decided against it, and I'm glad, because it's not that it's cheating. I think the soil thing is a relatively uninteresting mechanic, but we'll leave the soil thing on just to stop all of y'all complaining that I'm cheating. Because I know what you're like. I know what you'll do. You've done it before. It's like, oh, turn off unlimited money on this or whatever, or do this or do that. And it's like, no, man, I don't want to. But people complain. Anyway, enough of that. Let's get the key along here. So the key, I kind of want it to go from under there if I can, but that's not going to work. So we'll start over here. And I want it to sort of curve around like this. It is going to be sloping up, I think. Yeah, so it's going to get taller there, but that's okay. So bring it to like there. Then bring it to like there. Then kind of straight across and to like there. And we actually can curve it under there as well if I really want to, which I'll be honest, I kind of do. It slopes down a little bit, that's fine. Curve it like that and curve it like, oh, that's not really gonna work. Oh, hello. There is a point there where it works. There. And that's not gonna work, is it? Okay. Well, that's a bit of a pain. Let me make a slight adjustment here to the terrain. So we'll get that level, and we're just gonna make that a big circle, basically. Because that seems fair enough to me. I do want to reconnect power, so we don't run into issues with that. So there we go, power is reconnected. Let's get the key going the whole way around this. So just sort of like that. I can sort of get it to go nicely there. And I think that's about as far as I'm going to be able to get it to go. I don't think I'm going to be able to get it to tuck neatly under here. Which is a real shame, because it would look cool. Oh. Alright. I mean, sure. Did not expect this to work, but I'll take it. I can do that as well. Do that, and sort of curve it like this. Alright, I'm going to stop with the keys at this point, though, because they're getting really uninteresting. So the keys can sort of run around like that. They'll do their thing. Eventually, that whole lake will be surrounded by them. But until then, we're just going to leave it as is. So that's going to connect there. That's fine. Right. So we still have electricity. We have the keys. We now have a nice big space to play with in terms of getting industrial zoning in there and getting good industrial zoning in there as well. That's what we want. We want good industrial zoning. We want a lot of industrial zoning. We want it to be successful. We want it to work. So we're going to bring this road out to about there. Nah, about there will do. So bring it out to about there. Obviously the power is disconnected. We will fix that. I'm going to try and not forget to reconnect the power, but for the time being, I am going to have to just get rid of the connection for a second. To be honest, that probably doesn't even need to run any further than where it is there, but whatever. What I want to do here is I want to run a road along here that's going to have zoning along the back of the train track. Because I love me some train track zoning, all right? I love me some zoning that runs along a train track. I'm also thinking we could do some connections like this. I think it's probably worth having a lot of connections to an industrial zone. If we set up the district on this correctly, then we're not going to have to worry about all these connections either, so. Assuming I do my job correctly, this really isn't going to be a problem. If I don't do my job correctly, then oh dear. We'll see what happens. That's probably a good size, what we have there, though. I could extend it a little bit further to about there. I could extend this road the whole way across as well, which I might very well do. Because road placement gets really weird next to keys. So if I can get something really neat in there like that, then great, basically. I could extend that a little bit. And I think just for the sake of it, I will. Just to get some interesting little sections of road in here. So it's not completely boring over here. So there's like areas for them to turn and all that. I think that one can go. Probably that one too, to be honest. Yeah, that'll be fine. We'll get a road going through the middle here. Like that. We'll get one going like that as well. Have that come over to about there. That seems fine to me. That seems like a decent space for industry. It's got a lot of connections. It's pretty much set. So yeah, I like it. Let's zone it. Let's get this zoned. Let's go for offices here first. And to be honest, I might do offices just sort of around this as well. Just, well, maybe not there. Yeah, that bit can be industry. That's all going to be industry as well. So that's all industry, and it's right on the lake, which is where I want it. What I'm also thinking I'll do is I'll move one of my outflow pipes over to here if I can. If I can get it there neatly, that'd be really nice. I can technically get it there, but I kind of want it to look... Well, it's not going to go neat, is it? Unless I get rid of that road. Which I think I will. I want to get an outflow pipe over here. I want it, you know, to actually be sort of integrated into the industry of the area, so... Man, that sentence sounded so pretentious. I actually want to integrate my outflow pipes into the aesthetics of the region. Huh. Yes, that's what we're going to be doing here. But yeah, that's what we're going to be doing here. I'm also going to move 2 of the power plants over into this area as well, because it means that we don't have to worry about all of the oil trucks going into the one space over there. It makes things a little bit easier in case of emergency or something. So we get those in there. We're gonna want some services for this area, so I might throw a large fire station in here. We do have 2 small ones over here, but what I could do is throw like a large one there and get rid of the smaller ones probably. Or just keep the large one. That could work as well. Fire watchtowers, not interested. Policing, we could do with a small police station just over here. I think that'll work. Medical is actually leaving a lot to be desired on this side of the city, so let's get a little medical department just there. And then we'll throw some water under all of this, and then that's going to be a new industrial area done alongside the river, which is a thing we've had planned for a while, so I'm kind of glad that we're getting this out of the way. I know a lot of people aren't a fan of grids, but I think, like I've said before, this is going to be like the inner city, this is going to be the downtown part. Eventually, the grids are going to go, and we're going to make way for, like, you know, well, this is on an angle as well, so we have to integrate this somehow. But don't worry, it's not all going to be grids forever. I am also thinking, I don't know if I've mentioned this, but I want to get rid of this road here eventually. I want to sort of somehow take this road, like, over here a little bit and out and around and loop it that way so it stays above land, mostly. Because I'd like this to be open. I'd like these guys to, like, be able to look out over this relatively open lake. Because, you know, it would look better, I think. Like these guys. These guys get a beautiful view of the lake. It's just the smell that's not so beautiful. Because the smell is, well, disgusting, to be honest. If we're being completely blunt, the smell is well and truly disgusting. There really is no other word for it. Revolting might actually be another word now that I think about it, but, well, that's just splitting hairs, really. So, we have some considerable demand for residential zoning. I want to do something about that. I would like to expand down this way a little bit. I think that would be nice. If we could do that, that would be great. So let's see about doing that. We'll go in with the 2-lane avenue thing here. We'll come down to, like, here. Actually, you know what we're gonna do? Let me try something interesting. Let me do... Where does this start curving? Is that the start of the curve? I don't know if it is. But what I want to do is I want to bring this down to like, you know, there or something. Maybe like, if I can get it to actually not line up with the road, I want it to go to there. And then I want to line this up with like there-ish. So something like that. I don't like the gap that it's leaving, but whatever. And then I want to just like curve this. So it runs out and run like that. And I want this to run parallel with the highway. And right there, we're going off grid. We're going off grid, and who knows what's going to happen. This could be a disaster. This probably will be a disaster, but I'm willing to try it. That right there is 40 units across. So what I want to go and do is go to about there, go 40 units across, and somehow make this curve. I think there. Is that right? I don't know if that's right. Let me extend this a little bit by like 10 units, just for the heck of it, because I think it'll still line up, sort of. Maybe not perfectly, but it'll kind of line up. So that needs to come out of there. Needs to line up there. That looks okay to me. That looks okay to me. I don't mind that. I'm very tempted to make like a diagonal thing there, if I can. I totally can. I'm gonna do that. Oh, you know what I want to do there? I want to see if I can, oh, I see a thing I want to do. I want to see... This is... I'm just using this road as a measurement, by the way. I want to bring this road down here, right? And I want to see if I can get it to, like... do that, basically. Like, line up there. It's very close to doing it. Very close to doing it. What if I extend you? Will that connect? No, that's a bit of a pain. Alright, will that work? Oh, that totally works. That's perfect. Okay. So the reason I wanted to do that is because this road is now parallel to this road, even with like the curvy bits in between. So that's pretty cool. I'm not entirely certain how we're going to connect these two up, though. Not sure, but I don't think that's going to work. So I think what we'll do here is move them to be a bit closer together and do that. Now that looks terrible. Don't know if I'm a fan of that. What if we tear that out? We'll have this road just come straight down, and we'll just have that curved one over there. So like that. Yeah, that's fine. We'll do that. We'll fill up some of that space, and we'll try our very best to have some, like, non-grid based stuff. And then I think when this is all sort of filled up, I would also like to have a go at getting some more public transport out here, because we haven't done that in a while. We should also attempt to raise the highway a little bit to get some avenue connections through. Did I line those up? I lined those up without even trying. Look at me being good at video games. He lied. Oh, why are you guys going? Oh, I know why you're going down there. So, here's the question. You, viewer, can you tell why people are suddenly using that road? I think you can. The reason people are suddenly using that road is because, technically speaking, I don't think junctions are considered part of districts. Or rather, well, let me also phrase this in a way that also makes sense. Some of these guys have no choice but to go into this district currently, okay? That's just a thing they have to do. But this junction isn't necessarily it's not counted in this district thing. So they're coming along. They're going down and around because the road is part of the district. Then they're doing that. So they're cheating the system to go through Sunset Heights. I'm just going to take that off of that road. Because this will probably be its own district down here anyway. This also needs to be a district at some point. But let me go ahead and let me get some zoning in here so we can get some people living, get some people having a good time. So we're going to go with that. And we're going to go with that. And we'll put some roads going this way too. Just to get some good stuff in there. I think I might leave that little space empty. Or we could do like a proper little like square like that if we wanted to. That is an option. I don't know why I would want to do that, but I could. What if we had like that? Or just those two faced in, those two faced out. Why not? We'll do that. So we filled up that space. Let's get the usual setup of buildings in here. So I want to go for some commercial along the avenues. Then some residential right in the middle. I also probably want to get pipes in here because people are going to complain if I don't. So pipes going the whole way across there. And one pipe through the middle to rule them all. There we go. All right, so traffic's going nuts trying to get out of there. It's definitely an issue. Very little traffic using the highways. Very little traffic using the highway to get in. And this road as well. That's nice, but that's mostly because of this road going nuts, like I said. So, not an ideal setup. We've blocked up this bit of highway again because of the whole situation. Ah, man, that's a pain. That's such a pain. What we'll do is we'll take the zoning off of that whole avenue. So all of that is being freed up. And what I'm also going to do is I'm going to upgrade this road to have a couple more lanes, since that's probably going to be necessary at this point. And we'll see how it handles the extra traffic. Hopefully some of the traffic will start filtering through. I don't really want it filtering up that way. I could have it go along that road, though. Definitely an option. But we'll see how that goes. This area is slowly filling up. So while that's slowly filling up, let me start slowly filling up this area down here. Because I would like some cool stuff here. I just want a lot of, like, long, straight roads, really. So like that. And then, like, not like that, but like, like that, going down there. And I think we could get one more in there, if we're sneaky. If we're just super, yeah, there we go. So one more road there. The rest of them are going to have to connect to the curved road, which is going to be real interesting. So that one has to go straight out there. I actually think that's going to look really cool having those connect to the curved road. It's different, you know? That one can't, unfortunately. That one's going to be a pain to connect to the curved road. This one also can't. Also a pain. This one can, so we'll do that. I don't mind that, though. I think I'll get rid of you. Was that did that just say Grove Street? I could swear that just said Grove Street. I mean, Grove Street is... it's a relatively common street name, if we're being completely honest with ourselves, but... I mean, it's Grove Street, man. If you know a certain Grand Theft Auto game, you know Grove Street. That's pretty cool. That looks alright to me. I think I want to change the roads to be a bit more like that, though. So those roads can, yeah, they can be like that. That one's going to be very similar to going in. That one's going to be similar as well to going in, to going in. Same with these guys, to going in. And you. And you. Okay. These ones are going to be fairly normal. These ones can be like 2 going out or something. Well, that's in. So yeah, they can be sort of like that, and that'll be fine. So that's going to be a huge area for all sorts of zoning. I think that's going to be pretty cool to start filling that up, especially with residential space, because we're going to get so many people keen to live there. I do want to raise this highway, though. I do want to start bulldozing. I want to run a fairly hefty 6-lane road between these guys. Like that. And then what we need to do is we need to get a good curve going over here, over this way. So let's bring this right back to... Oh, that was a mistake. Extend that, do that, bulldoze, bulldoze. There we go. So those are not the same length, which is good. I'm gonna just change them both into 4-lane highways, because I might as well. And what I'll do is turn off road guidelines. Go 10 and up. I'm just gonna go with the usual, like, kind of steep thing there, I reckon, since it really does make life so much easier if we just go with the steep slopes. I know it's not all that realistic. I know, you know, it's maybe a bit too steep for such a short bit of road, but it really makes things so much easier. So let's bring this forward to there. And that to there. And this is the point I'd like the curve to start. Actually, no, it's not. Let me bring this forward a little bit more. Actually, that is going to be tricky. What about that? Does that work? And then... like that, I think? They get real close together, don't they? Can I get this to work, though? That's like the point there. That's a little bit better, I think. It's not perfect, but it's real close. So that's totally fine. That gives us a connection under the highway there, which I think is going to be super important. And I'm hoping that that's going to do some really good stuff for us. I think upgrading this road here as well might be an idea. Even if we just upgrade it to this one as like a temporary measure to make sure that traffic can move along there. I think that's going to be good. And then what we can also go ahead and do is just put a bunch of commercial in there. Get you out of there. And yeah, that looks good to me. Obviously, I'm going to want a connection done here. I don't necessarily know where that connection will go, but I want some kind of connection done this way. We'll get that shortly. Traffic here is actually dire. It is actually a disaster right there. Which is a shame, really. I was really hoping this wouldn't be a problem. I was really hoping that wouldn't be a problem. Okay. So Sunset Heights... I mean, it doesn't really work, does it, this whole thing? Let me get some new districts going. Let me get... Oh, I messed that up slightly. Daffodil Square is going to be the interestingly named industrial zone here. So fill all that up with some district zoning in just a second. Let me bring that across. There we go. To fill all of this up, Daffodil Square, the industrial zone. Classic industrial zone name right there. We'll bring the district sort of along the keys a little bit. Not perfect or anything, but again, pretty darn close. Pretty darn close indeed. So there we go. All right. So now all I need to do is neaten it up on the avenues a little bit. I'm going to push this one back a little as well. So just like that. And then cut through there and there. I'm thinking that it might be an idea to... I'm going to push this back up onto that road. Wait, that's where the cargo oh, okay, that's going to cause problems. The cargo train station road, I think, needs to be freed up as well. which is a pain because it's a very small road, but what I think we'll do is turn it into an asymmetrical road. So hopefully we can get a lot of traffic on there without too much hassle. So we'll see how that goes. So now we have Daffodil Square, the industrial zone. I want to cut through here. And I'm tempted to make this whole thing one district. Very, very tempted to make this whole thing one district. But I don't know. I really don't know. I also realize I'm defeating the purpose of the Old Town policy in a lot of places by letting traffic go on every avenue. It makes sense for a lot of them, but honestly, this avenue here, I don't think we should be letting industrial traffic use it, because it gets so busy. And everything was flowing nicely enough when the industrial traffic wasn't using it. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to re-extend Sunset Heights back onto this road here, onto that road, and I think I'm going to extend it down to here as well. I think Sunset Heights is going to be a pretty big district, and I'm kind of okay with that, because I'm hoping that it will help this traffic to not mess things up for the rest of the city. It does cut that off as a road that only people can only go to if they're going to Sunset Heights specifically, which is a pain. But I think that's what we're gonna have to do. I really think that's what we're gonna have to do. But then what we can do is set up this lower section as its own district, which is gonna be Pleasant District, which is hopefully gonna be nice and pleasant for everybody. I do hope that people end up liking living here. I do need to get a lot of parks into the city as well. I also think I want to place a monument. Again, we have almost $2.5 million. I think a monument is well within reason. So we'll do that. We should see traffic stop using that road fairly shortly. But let's see, what kind of monuments have we got? I mean, well, actually, no, we don't technically have monuments. We have all of these, though. We also have all the stadiums, but we'll not bother with those because they're boring. We have Transport Tower. We have some cool fountains, I guess. You can hear the excitement in my voice for the fountains. I'll put that one there. I think that's kind of cool. The official park. Even though it should probably go up by the offices, but we'll put it there. What else we got? What else we got? Helicopter park. Nah. We got this arch thing. We got some of this stuff. We got all this stuff. We've got these giant buildings and stuff as well. We've got the electric car factory, which is a pretty cool building. We've got the Robotics Institute. Another legitimately kind of cool building. We could throw it there. Could totally throw the Robotics Institute, like, along the highway. Definitely an option. You know what? Let's do it. Robotics Institute right there. Kind of futuristic looking building. Okay, by kinda, I mean really futuristic looking building, but whatever. We'll throw it there. We got the Software Development Studio. Interesting building. We got the semiconductor plant. What is all this? We got the television station. Let's get a TV station, like, over here somewhere. Like there. Yeah. I like that. Major earthquake. Quake? Earthquake. Devastate southern region. Fair enough. That's obviously a bit of an issue, but, you know, I'm assuming we are not in the south, so it's not really bothering us. Right, we have got more demand coming in for a couple more things. Let me get some water into this new area. And then let me go ahead and start zoning. What are we going to zone? I reckon we'll start zoning some offices around the edges. I reckon offices around the edges will be a good bet. And then the usual mix of mostly residential in the middle with a little bit of, I think a little bit of commercial sort of sprinkled through would be really nice. So there's all of the water. Let's get our offices. In fact, let's do commercial all along the highway, because the commercial buildings get nice and tall, and that'll look really cool when they are really tall along the highway. So get those there. I think we'll stick with offices down this side. So all down there. And then maybe a smattering of offices there with a few in here as well. Then all along this avenue can be commercial there. I think that'll look nice. Something like that. So we have a nice chunk of commercial. We are, of course, going to put, I think, commercial on the insides here of the avenue sides. Then the rest of that is just going to be residential. And I imagine that will take a while to fill up, but that's totally fine by me. I want to throw a park in there, I think. In fact, let's put 2 right there, just to make that really, really pleasant for everybody. And here's the question. Can we get the population of 40,000 before we wrap things up for the day? Also, water problems. Yes, water availability is not ideal. Let's get another one of these bad boys over here and hope that that's going to be enough. I mean, it is going to be enough, but what I mean is what I should say is hope that the water is going to be enough and that the water doesn't dry up, because, I mean, you can see how quickly this water's flowing to the pumps, so that is a valid concern. 37,500. This area is slowly filling up. A lot of traffic using the highway. A lot of traffic using this intersection. Not much using this road over here, which is what we want to see. This area is looking pretty good to me. I'm actually really happy with this as an industrial zone. I'm also thinking, before I forget to do it, I want to just extend this road through here. So right up to there. Because what that means is later on we can get more train connections if we want to do more cargo out to the middle of nowhere, or if we want to loop it around and bring it over here, or whatever we want to do. I think it's going to be good to have that there already, so we don't have to go through later and bulldoze a headload of stuff. I think that'd be a terrible idea to bulldoze it all later. Population 38,350-ish. Increasing pretty rapidly at that. What's this? The boat museum, where citizens go to admire old boats. It's a wonderful destination for tourists. 160,000. Can we place that over here? Oh, we totally can. It's not connected to a road, however. It's still technically not connected to a road. How am I gonna get this to be connected to a road? That space is already occupied. Space already occupied. I feel like there's a slight design flaw in the boat museum concept, in that it's quite tricky to actually get it to connect to a road. I would really like it to, you know, not align itself to the key. Oh, that works. So like that, basically. Then I should be able to move the boat museum down to like there, right? Hey! Oh my god, people are actually going to it. Not bad. So what did I turn off to get that to, so the grid? I need it to not align to the grid, and it will not align to the key. Well, that makes things very interesting. I'm very glad we got the boat museum up and running, though. Even though the water underneath it is going nuts. It's a nice little building to have there. And, what's more, we are about to be a colossal city. We got a new tile. We got the cargo harbor, the nuclear plant. Right. Let's buy this, because this tile here is going to let us start to work the highway up and around here a little bit if we want to. It also gives us full access to this lake, which is good. We get full access to this lake. Ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be it for today. I'd say we've made some pretty good progress. The city, the population's increasing. We got some good money. I'm quite pleased with it. I'm quite pleased with it indeed. I do think I'll end up putting a canal through here at some point, I realize. So this will probably curve off that way and sort of stay on land a little bit and sort of curve around. But I want to put some canals connecting all of these lakes. Because at some point, I want to use ferries as a mode of transport. Definitely want to do that. So we'll see what happens. Either way, I want to thank you kindly for watching. This has been Cities Skylines Mass Transit Part 9. I think. Yeah, Part 9. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.